Now, a CBS 2 News special assignment on stolen identities. This is a crime that can happen to you, and you won't even know that someone else is posing as you with your credit. Our troubleshooter, Judd McIlvaine, investigates for us. Judd.
And those imposters clone your identity and your total credit history. Then they go on a spending spree you wouldn't believe. The victim is left to hunt down the imposters herself and try to clear her name. And incredibly as it may seem, it's not against the law in California. This woman,
very crazy.
and this woman, and this woman all claim to be the real Linda Tapia, an LA school teacher's aide. This is the real Linda Tapia, who works for the LA Unified School District in the San Fernando Valley. When she was not teaching, the real Linda Tapia bowls with her friends. Her life is pretty normal. She pays her bills on time and never runs up too much credit. Linda has always been proud of her good credit. But within months, it was all shattered, leaving her with tens of thousands of dollars in bills. And still, she didn't know what was going on. Then one day, she got a phone call that changed her whole life.
I was appalled, absolutely appalled. I knew I had not ever had a charge card or charge account with Circuit City. And I told them that, and they insisted that I had bought this tremendous amount of merchandise. And I said, no, I did not buy any merchandise.
The bill from Circuit City included a camcorder, TVs, computers, monitors, a VCR, and even a refrigerator. Over $6,000 worth of merchandise. That's when Linda first learned that the other two women had stolen her identity and good credit.
I felt so violated and that my identity had been stripped away.
Linda quickly checked her credit report. The imposters had used her good credit history to run up almost $60,000 in unpaid bills.
Absolutely shocked, because I thought, how could they get my identification?
Linda reported her stolen identification to the police, but got more bad news. She was told that in California, it's not a crime to steal someone's credit identity.
It's not against the law for someone to take your identity, forge your signature. I've never heard of such a thing.
But it's true. So it was up to Linda to track down the imposters and prove her identity had been stolen so she could clear her credit. She found out that the imposters had run up bills all over the San Fernando Valley. They even bought a new, fully loaded $22,000 car with Linda's credit.
I can see that the best way to handle it is just go out and do it on your own.
Then Linda asked me to help her find those imposters. Like detectives, Linda and I began beating the pavement, checking addresses left by the two women. At Circuit City, Linda and I found our first good clue. One of the imposters had used her own picture on Linda's driver's license to open a store account. We found the same imposter made another mistake when paying a $700 veterinarian bill. She mistakenly wrote down her real name, then crossed it out and put down Linda Tapia. Now we had a name to go with the picture of one of the imposters. Remember that $22,000 car they bought in Linda's name? The salespeople at Community Chevrolet identified this woman as the other imposter who bought the car with Linda's credit. Later that evening, we found the car, a 1997 Chevrolet Cavalier in Encino. M11093. The man who answered the door at the address where the car was located claimed total ignorance of what was going on. How'd that car get out there? Remember you told me you didn't know anything about the new car?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, what you doing sitting out here and it's registered to this apartment?
I don't know.
He finally told us the car belonged to his ex-wife, who lived there, and she was one of the women posing as Linda Tapia. Frida Marquez, who would not speak on camera, said she and her daughter had been the imposters and they had bought everything, including that car, in Linda's name. She said she didn't know where her 32-year-old daughter, Yvette, was. Did you buy when she said, I know these are criminal acts? I mean, she works in a legal office. She's a legal aide. And then she said, but I'm not a criminal. I just did criminal acts.
I don't understand that, Judd. I just don't understand that.
We found the daughter's address by following the McMahon furniture paper trail. And there she was. This lady right here?
Wait.
This lady right here is the lady whose credit you've been using and posing as her daughter.
Me?
Yeah. Are you Yvette?
Yeah.
And what's your last name?
Wait, I'm not doing this.
Mariachi?
No, I'm not doing this.
Could you explain to me about the credit you've been using? This lady, it's her credit in her name.
Crazy.
No, I'm not crazy. The stuff has been coming to you in her name. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Pass him.
Could you explain to us?
Yeah, I could explain that you're very crazy and what you're doing is totally against the law.
No. Could you explain to us why the stuff under this lady's credit name is coming to this apartment? Could you explain that to us? What do you think after you've seen her?
She's an imposter. I'm astonished. I don't know how she got my identity.
Now, so far, no one has been arrested. The woman who said I was crazy has now returned over $2,000 in furniture to McMahon's that she bought there in Linda's name. Also, the veterinarian clinic has filed a criminal complaint against one of the imposters. There is now a bill in the state legislature right now to make stealing someone's total identity a crime, for heaven's sakes. And they can actually report it to the police, take the police report, go to the credit people and say, here is what happened.
You have scared me to death. I had no idea people could go out and just do that. Just clone your driver's license and
they become you.
Well, you would think it'd be an act of fraud. You think it'd already be illegal, but...
Yeah.
Well, see, it's only illegal to the people they cheated. And a lot of these big department stores and places just write it off.
Yeah.
But that leaves the victim with their credit ruined.
Judd, thank you very much.
Thanks, Judd.